My name is Alden MacDonald. I'm a certified executive chef and full-time faculty member in the Hospitality Leadership Program at Northern Michigan University. Today, I'm going to show you how to make hummus. Hummus is a great accompaniment to things like pita chips, tortilla chips, vegetables. I love eating this with like celery, cauliflower, carrots. It's a great snack, super high in protein, really easy to make, and it's a great way to use up things like your canned beans. You can do different variations on hummus. You can use black beans, great northern beans, any sort of white bean, all work in hummus. And sometimes you change up the flavor a little bit, but the base is always the same. You've got your beans, your lemon juice, your olive oil, tahini, garlic, and then anything you add to that after that is just your flair. So we're gonna start with our lemon juice here. I'm going to hit the easy button and use a juicer. You can do this by hand, it's not a problem. It's about 2 to 5 tablespoons of lemon juice for 1 can of beans. I'll tell you a secret, half a lemon is usually enough. Okay, I'm going to set this off here. Next, I've got my garlic. In the recipe it says to crush it. You can do that. I have a fancy food processor. I don't need to crush it. You can crush it or chop it up before you put it in. You will need some sort of food processor to do this well. If you don't have a food processor, I spent $20 and bought a hand crank one for myself that doesn't require electricity, and it works great. I can make hummus in there, pestos, all kinds of stuff. I use that at my house all the time. It has a little suction thing that locks to the counter. It's awesome. So you don't have to spend a lot of money on a fancy food processor. You can literally spend $20 on a little hand crank one and do this at home. I have tahini. Tahini has sesame in it. In fact, it's all sesame seeds. So if you have an allergy to sesame, don't do this. But you can also replace this with a peanut butter. It won't taste exactly the same, but it'll still be delicious. Any sort of nuttiness. Nutritional yeast is also really good in here because nutritional yeast has that nutty flavor. Last, I'm going to add my chickpeas. These have been drained. A little bit of water from your chickpeas are just fine, won't hurt it at all. And then my salt and pepper. We always want to make sure we're salting our food because salt is a flavor enhancer. You know what another cool flavor enhancer is something that's acidic. So our lemon juice is a flavor enhancer. A little red wine vinegar and say a pasta sauce is a flavor enhancer. So if you're ever salting your food and you keep salting it, and you're like, man, this is so bland. It probably needs something acidic in there. So stop and think about that and go, ooh, what can I add? What do I have? Do I have a little vinegar or something that's acidic that I can put in there? And that usually helps with your flavor. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to add is my olive oil, but I don't want to do that yet. First, I want to turn this on and grind all this stuff up together. And it's as easy as that. And what I'm looking for is it's going to turn into a paste. It's a dip. You can make this a little chunkier if you want, and that would be perfectly fine. One thing I like to do is take chickpeas and kind of grind them up really rough and toss them with olive oil and salt and pepper and put them in the oven and bake them for like ever. And then they get really crunchy, like little nuggets of nuts. And I like to put that in my hummus sometimes. It's really good because it adds a texture component. Also a great garnish. Great. So here at this point, I'm going to take this off so you can see it. Maybe. There we go. I want you to see that it's not completely smooth yet. And the reason it's not completely smooth yet is we're missing our olive oil, and that's what the olive oil is for. So I put this back on. Put it on there. Get my blade down. And then this food processor has a fancy hole in the top. And so I'm going to drizzle this slowly in here. The reason we want to drizzle our oil slowly into something like a hummus, you don't have to do it, but it will make a better hummus, is because oil and water don't mix, right? So when we have a blade and it's going really fast and we drizzle our oil in, it will force the things that are water-based inside of our hummus to mix with our oil, our fat. It will taste better, be smoother. Great. So then what I do here is I'm going to scrape my sides down one more time because, you know, some of that oil got up on the sides. But as you can see in the shot, it went from a little bit kind of crumbly looking, going really, really smooth, really quickly, almost like a dough going around the bowl of your food processor. Okay, and however smooth you want it is really up to you. That's your taste. At this time, I always taste, because why would I mix it by hand if I can use the machine to get a little more seasoning? Okay. Oh yeah, I can taste the garlic in there. That lemon is popping a little bit. It's very good. And there we have it. So at this point in time, you're going to choose whatever vessel you want to choose. If you want to look fancy, you can choose a nice dish, or just put it in a Tupperware container. This is sticking. There we go. So this comes out. Be careful with food processors. Their blades are sharp. I always take that out first and scrape it off so that I have no chance of cutting myself. And then I'm going to just take this out, put it in whatever vessel I want to serve it in. Today I chose this cute little plate. Now, if you want to get really fancy, great garnishes for the top of this would be, there we go. A great garnish for this would be a little paprika you could put on top. You could put some lemon zest. If you want to use all of your lemon, zest your lemon before you juice it. Sprinkle a little lemon zest on top of there. A little cut up parsley or cilantro would also be delicious on top of this. And then you just made a really good dish look super fancy too. Enjoy!